The What's Good Podcast. Are you ready? Your number.
Hey, ladies and gents, this is your girl, Brianna Javon with What's Good Podcast. And as you guys know, we are here with season 4. So thank you so much for tuning in. Today we have a special guest. We have Keara in the building. How are you?
Hi.
Hi. Love it. Indeed. So as you guys know, we do not have interviews. Instead, we have genuine conversations. So let's get into it. I love it so much. Okay, so we always start off with icebreakers.
Okay.
What's the single most important reason for your success?
The single most important reason for my success is to make my parents proud.
I love that.
That's always in the back of my mind, is I just want them to be proud of me.
I love that. Is it like maybe your why is because of your parents?
It probably is a lot to do with my wife, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Like, they've always been so supportive of everything that I've done from a child on up, you know, through happy times, through disappointment times. They've always had my back. Yeah. And even, you know, in this road with entrepreneurship, like, they let me, you know, do what it is that I feel I need to do. But they always have my back. And they're always there to help me, and just they're always rooting for me, and just they always tell me, you know, just keep going, keep going, keep going. And so, yeah, I just want them to be proud of me, and I want to take care of them, you know, and yeah, I just want to do that. I don't know. That's just always what's in the back of my mind. I don't have any children or anything.
Okay.
So they are who I live for.
I love that. So, because I'm a family person, and that means a lot to me because I'm the same way. My family, mom, dad, brother, cousins, aunties, during this whole journey, it's like every time I try to question it, no, girl, you got to keep going. Yeah. Like, what do we need to do for you to keep moving? Right, so, as you're talking about that, it's like, I want to get back to them because they've been such a support.
Exactly.
That's where the hustle comes in.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's my main thing. Making them proud.
That's so good. All right, Keara. So, how we always start off is who is Keara? Who is the guest of the day?
Okay. Keara is a girl from California.
Okay.
I was born in California. My mom is from Texas, Tyler, Texas. My dad is from Arkansas.
Okay. So they're from the South.
Okay. Yeah. So they met in California. My mom moved out there to be with her sister, wanted to be, you know, get out the country, go to the city, you know, have a change of scenery. And my dad, he was in the military, so he was stationed in California. So my mom's friend from the country, Tyler, was in the military with my dad. And that was like he was his military buddy. So he introduced them.
It was like meant to be.
And it's just been like that ever since. So yeah, they met in California, and when I was about 7 years old, we did move back here just to be closer to family. You know, my mom was kind of tired of getting on the road, you know, when we lost somebody. She wanted to be closer to family. So that way we were closer to my family in Tyler and my family in Arkansas. Just a road trip rather than a 2-day road trip or a flight away. So that's why we moved back. And we've been here ever since. Let's see what else. I graduated from Duncanville High School in 2004.
Okay.
And from there, I didn't know if I wanted to go to college. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to major in, nothing like that. So,
did you take any like electives at Duncanville?
I was a hi-hat.
Okay.
I was in the drill team.
That's cute.
I was a dancer. And I really thought I might have been a dancer, but it didn't pan out that way. I really wasn't passionate about it. I was good at it, but I wasn't passionate about it.
Because
that is a big difference. Yeah, big difference. So I just went to community college, Cedar Valley, just to get my basics out the way. But my family was telling me, go be a nurse. You know, you always have a job, go be a nurse. So of course, you know, my classes were geared towards, you know, a nursing career. So I was taking biologies and chemistries and all that. And I was just not doing good.
Yeah.
It just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I had a rough, you know, year, my first 2 years of college. So I begged my parents to let me go to beauty school.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like,
what made you want to go that route though?
because I've always been into hair.
Okay.
Like from playing with my Barbie dolls, you know, my stuffed animals, I would grease them up. You know how you used to part your hair and grease your hair?
Yes.
I was greasing my little stuffed animals kept just full of grease.
Was that Vaseline back then?
Yes, it was Vaseline, exactly. And I'm like, I greased it, you know? So I was just always doing something, playing with combs, playing with my dolls, doing different things, playing with the curling irons early, all that. And then it went from there, it went to me just doing my friend's hair, you know, in school. And yeah, my hair, my parents' hair, that type of thing. But I still wasn't like, oh, I want to be a hairstylist. It was just like, this is just something I like to do. Yeah, so it came from that, but I didn't know it then. You know, I was still trying to figure out my life. So they let me go to beauty school, and with me agreeing to at least finish my associate's degree. So that was the deal. So I went to beauty school, did that. They supported me with that because in beauty school you can't have another job. Like if you're trying to get out, you know, yeah, like you have to. It's every day unless you go part time and that's at night, but you're in there longer.
Okay.
So the more ideal thing to do is to go every day from whatever 8 to 4 or whatever, and just clock your hours.
Okay.
And then get out. You know.
So it's really full time.
Yeah, it was 9 months with me going full time.
Okay.
So imagine what it is if you're going part time.
Jeez, you say it's gonna be longer.
Yeah, so didn't want to do that. So I just went ahead and, you know, did the full time. So I did that for 9 months and got my, you know, my license. And then I went to work at JCPenney's.
Okay.
But that wasn't my first salon.
Okay.
It took me a while to find where I wanted to be. I went to go work in one salon where I didn't have a license there. I was just going to be like doing like an internship.
Okay.
But the lady who owned the shop, she was like, "No, you can take clients." I'm like, "No, I can't." You know, she didn't have a cosmetology license. She only had a beauty a salon license, and so, it's a difference.
Is that just to have the establishment? Okay.
You don't, and that's the thing. Like I always tell people, like if you're going to have a salon, you really need to have a cosmetology license because you have to learn sanitation. You know, the health part of it. You know, it's more to hair than just having a salon.
Makes
you know, so. She didn't know the back end about TDLR, the license and regulations. She didn't know anything about that. So I'm like, if I'm working in your shop without a license and TDLR coming here, you're in trouble and I'm in trouble.
Right, because this can shut down.
Yeah, we can shut all this down, you know? So I knew that wasn't where I wanted to be because she's already steering me in the wrong direction. So then I went to work, so then I went to work at Regis, and that was cool, but I needed more creativity. Like I needed more. It wasn't giving me enough.
Right.
So then I went to JCPenney's, and that's actually where I spent the bulk of my time fresh out of school. Okay. Yeah. So went there. I worked there for 5 years.
So you were there for a good minute.
Yeah. I worked there for 5. It was, JCPenney's was a whole experience. We used to have so much fun. We were really like, it was just really nothing but Black women in there, Black stylists almost.
Really?
And it was just like a beauty shop.
Because when I think of JCPenney, depending on where it is located, right? I'm thinking, was it a variety of different women that you would work on as far as hairstyles? Or like you mentioned, was it all Black?
Majority, just because of the demographic. I was at the one in Cedar Hill.
Gotcha.
So the demographic is different. But we still did all kinds of hair.
Okay.
Yeah, we had all kinds of clients come in, but majority it was African American women. Yeah, and then we just had, they were the ones that was rescheduling. Like when they come in, they get their appointment before they leave. They book their next 2-week appointment. Those are the ones that are doing that. The Caucasian clients, they come, but they come every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks for their color touch up, for their cut. We're the ones that shampoo our hair once a week or, every 2 weeks.
Indeed. Unless you got like a hairstyle or something.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I started off as a designer stylist and quickly moved up to a senior stylist.
So what's a designer stylist?
A designer stylist is you're like amateur.
Okay.
Then you have your senior, you're in the middle, then you have your master stylist.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But how you elevate in the system is basically off of your sales, how much money you make for the company. If you hit a number, you level up to senior. If you hit another number, you level up to master stylist. It was like that.
Was it off of ratings or just how many hairstyles or gigs that you received?
It was mainly the clients that we had, the money that we was bringing in, your productivity is what determined, your level up. Yeah. But then on the other side, JCPenney's was really good at free education. Really? So we always had, paid education. Okay. We would, they would say, okay, Monday at 8:00, there's a haircutting class out in Valley View Mall. You guys have to be there. So we go out there to a class and you got paid your, not your commission rate, but your hourly rate. Okay. You would get paid that for being in the class and learn. Yeah. So I learned a lot while I was there. And I had fun there, and I gained my clientele there, and that's what I'm most appreciative of, because I was able to transition my clients out of JCPenney's to my suite, and then that's where I started to grow my business, KMS Glam Studio. So I moved into my suite. Okay,
let's start from the suite. Okay, I love that because I feel like there's different stages before you get to entrepreneurship, right?
Yes.
So I want to talk about everything in between before we get to entrepreneurship. Okay. So when you got to the suite, let's talk about that story a little bit.
Okay, so funny thing is, and I can talk about it now, but working at JCPenney's as a stylist, you're not allowed to do hair anywhere else.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense, right? Yeah. So I did do that on the low. Okay. But I wanted to see what it was like before I just jumped out there, But one of my friends, her name was LaShawn, she was in the same place with me. Like, we do hair, we're at JCPenney's, but JCPenney's wasn't serving us anymore. Once you hit master stylist, I went and did like a contest they had to look for district educators. Really? So it was like an audition. So I had to send in a tape. I got picked because of my productivity. Okay. So the highest productivity in the salon, you are eligible to enter into this contest to be a district educator.
That sounds good.
So congrats. Cool. Thank you. So that was cool. The experience was cool, but I didn't win, of course. And so I want to know why I didn't win. Okay. And so my manager told me it was because of the way that I cut. I'm like, what do you mean the way that I cut? Like the cut got cut, like it happened. What are you talking about? And so she was just like, they want you to cut palm to palm. I didn't learn how to cut palm to palm. So back up. Okay. Palm to palm. It's a way of cutting with your hands, like a different way. And with different angles. It's kind of hard to explain without showing you on the head. But it's the same way that you hold your shears. Okay.
Shears, scissors.
Yeah,
I know that.
Those are your snips. It's the way that you hold them. And so they wanted me to cut like that versus the way that I cut. And I'm like, but I achieved the cut. Right. The cut was even, But now, fast forward now, I think about like how far we have come in the hair industry. Because back then, that was very like, it was like cookie cutter, right? Now, the hair industry is so broad and it's so like nothing is wrong. Everything is just creativity. And if you don't like it, somebody else like it. It's designs, it's art, so there's different ways to do something. Nothing is the same. It could be the cut can be shaggy, the cut can be disconnected and just all over the place, but it probably look good, but that person cut that how they wanted to cut it.
Right.
You know?
That's their art at the end of
That's
the
the
day.
art. Yeah. So that's the part about like, okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what? I done reached my peak here. And
that was the point.
That was the point. Because I was like, if I make that, I'll stay around and I'll be a district educator. But if not, I'm not just gonna be a master stylist. They changed some different things up. Management issues, micromanagement issues. Like, listen, I do this because I enjoy doing this.
And I'm grown.
And I'm grown, you know? So as long as I'm taking care of my clients, why are you bothering me?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I didn't like that, and a lot of the girls in the salon didn't like that. So a lot of us did end up transitioning different ways out of there. But so moving from that to the suite, I finally just quit.
Wow.
Gave my 2 weeks notice and was like, I'm just gonna do this by myself. So I did that, and my clients was following me. It was kind of nervous, but I think because I was already doing it while I was at JCPenney's, it was okay. Because like I would work at JCPenney's maybe like Mondays and Wednesdays and Thursdays. Okay. And then Friday and Saturday I work at the suite. Okay. Type of thing. You know? Gotcha. So I was slowly transitioning my clients out. Anyway, yeah. Okay. And so I just told my clients that, you know, I'm gonna be leaving and, you know, I normally see you every 2 weeks. I can still continue to see every 2 weeks. I'm just over here at this location. Okay. And they're communication. Like, and they're like, okay, you know? And so I was nervous at first because a lot of my clients, they were using their JCPenney's cards to pay for their services. They're not gonna want to follow me because I don't want some JCPenney cards. But they came. That's so beautiful. So I was blessed that I was like, that was my blessing. That was my start, because I'm so thankful that I did it that way. And that's why I try to encourage young girls like that's new in the industry. Like, you might want to do a commission style because it's a lot to carry to be a booth rental type of stylist is fresh out of beauty school, you know. So yeah, that was my start. But the suite, it did everything I needed to do. Really? It did everything that I needed to do. Yes, I don't know. You would thought that I was just doing that forever. I don't know. I can't really explain it, but I met so many cool. I just like being in the industry. It was nice. It was cool being a hairstylist and at the salon that I worked at, like, and all the other stylists in there that had their own flair and their style, you know. Yes, and they're like what they specialize in with hair. So we was able to learn from each other still and piggyback off of each other.
So you were always in a good community where you went from JCPenney's to the
Almost
suite.
Definitely. Almost definitely.
That's a big blessing.
Yes, that was a huge blessing for me, because even at JCPenney's, like, I can still recall, we had older, we had younger, like, it was all, but we all were together. Like, the older hairstylists, they would tell us, you know, baby girl, you need to use this on that, and they'll cancel out the yellow in that, you know. So they would just give us pointers, you know, and it was a community. We hung out together. Like almost every weekend, everybody's birthday, we celebrated everybody's birthday. We were just, it was a time, and we still look back on that. I'm still cool with a lot of those girls, and we just look back on those times. We're like, you know, it was really like we had each other's back, and we just it was a fun salon environment. And so I just know that, like, when I opened up my salon, I knew that I wanted to have camaraderie, like fun. Like I didn't want to be in a salon that had drama and bad vibes and people getting into it. Like, that's not where I came from. Right. You know,
you don't even know what that looks like.
No, and that's not what I wanted to ever be. You know, I don't want anybody to ever think that was okay. Right. You know. Right. So yeah, I'm blessed to be where we are.
I love that. So leading up to KMS Glam Studio, what gave you that leap to leave the suite to say, you know what, I want to go ahead and start my own empire at this point?
You know, it really just happened. My mom, okay, so here's the thing. When I moved, when I had the suite and I quit JCPenney's, I I was living on my own. I had a roommate. Okay, we were living together, and it came to a point where it was like it was time to do something else, you know. And so the plan was for me to go back home. I went back home with my parents, packed myself up, save money on rent, right? Save money on rent so that I can just work towards opening up a salon. So I moved back home, and like shortly after I moved home, my mom, she was looking in the green sheet. I don't know if you ever heard of the green sheet paper.
I haven't.
It's like it's a publication. I think it's a Dallas publication, but it's like
so the different businesses.
It's like a classifieds, but more local.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a classifieds, but it looks like a newspaper. Okay. Yeah, you can pick it up free, different places, but it's the surroundings.
Okay.
Like DeSoto, Duncanville, Cedar Hill, Lancaster. It does like surrounding cities of Dallas. So she saw it in there that it was a salon for lease, and she's like, let's just go check it out.
Look at moms.
I love it. So I was like, okay, let's just go look. So we went to go look, and it needed some updating, but it had a lot of potential.
Yes.
You know, and it was only $1,000.
Shut up.
Only $1,000. That's really good, and it was fully furnished. So
it's like a salon furnished, or shut up.
Yes, it was. So I was like, that was actually really good. Already furnished. I wouldn't have to do anything, you know. So sorry, I gotta move. So I decided to open it up. I decided to go ahead and just see what it does. It was like, I've been saving my money, you know,
especially with rent.
Yes, I've been saving, and then I started, you know, doing my calculations. Like, if I was to charge, you know, this much for rent,
good for you.
You know, that times, you know, this times this equals this. So, you know, I can do that. But I always want to look at my numbers, like what I do. So with me being behind the chair, I can carry the rent without other people. And that's always been that's always been my thing. Like, you know, some people will come to me and ask me, like, how much do you pay for rent? Like, all right, they want this for rent. Like, is that good? I'm like, well, that's on you, you know, because you can't depend on everything else, you know, because in the business, style is coming out. So you can't be dependent on this person bringing in rent in order for you to pay your rent.
That's good.
So as long as I could pay the rent on my own, that's where I'll be like, okay, that's good.
That's
you
good.
know.
Good. I like that.
Yeah, that's what I just tell people. Just think about that. You know, because don't put yourself in a big situation when you're I'm gonna sell these products. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. All that's gonna equal up to. Well, all that stuff can be gone.
That is true.
You know, you might not sell no products. You might not have any customers.
That's true.
Coronavirus might come through and shut down your business. You know, so you have to look at your own finances when it comes to, you know, stepping out and being like, you know what, I want to open up a salon. You know, so that was my main thing, but I just did it.
This is exciting. All right, so my next segment, this is pretty much the storytelling. This is my favorite part. I feel like everybody that I ask these next two questions, I learn something from it. I know if I'm learning something, I'm sure the audience is learning something as well, right? So this is your high and low moments of your journey. It doesn't even have to be entrepreneurship. It could be anything. So let's talk about a high moment where you legit pat yourself on the back and was like, I did that. I think, like, it's been so many. That's a blessing.
It has. Like, I mean, just the whole journey.
Yes.
Has been a pat on the back. The whole journey has been, like, me not even knowing what's the next step. But it happened, and we got through it. And it's the challenges, like, it's they're always there, and they don't stop coming. You know, so every time that I get through a challenge and we're on the other end of it,
Yeah.
That's a pat on the back for me. Because everything is like, you just never know what's going to come your way.
That's true.
You never know. Everything is different, and you can't plan for it, you know, but it's all about how you get through it, how you handle it, you know, and just be like, okay, we made it through that, you know, that's a pat on the back for me.
That's good.
Yeah, so just whenever I'm able to get through something and learn a lesson from it, that's a pat on the back for me. Yeah, and there's so many lessons. So.
With that being stated, what is a low, as far as a lesson, where it questioned your journey to where you're like, I want to go back, God. Like, at this point, I want to take another step forward because it's just that challenging. What would be a lesson, a low, and how did you move forward and push through to get to the other side?
That would probably be like the times, okay, coronavirus,
Okay.
COVID.
Yeah, because that got real.
Yeah, COVID, that was a real moment. And I had been there before, not like that, but okay, so I'm trying to say. Okay, going back to what I said about as a salon, KMS Glam Studio,
right?
We are a booth rental salon, and that's majority of all the stylists that's in their booth rental. Now, remember when I said when I go back, like I want to be able to take care of, you know, the bills, even if I don't have a stylist in the salon, right? But there have been times where I didn't have a stylist in the salon, where it's just me, you know, and I have to pay for everything, you know. So those were the low moments, you know, and those are the moments where I learned a lot about what type of salon I want to have, you know, just it's just all those different things that made me. I don't know. I can't really explain it. It was just it definitely questioned me about having independent contractors, having a booth rental salon. Is this the right road for me? Did I choose this wrong? You know, should I even have a salon? Should it just be just me? You know, one person to worry about. All those type of things go through my head. Like, oh, I'm gonna shut down. Like, you real now, I done thought about shutting down so many times. Because sometimes it's just like, you know what? I just want to do the salon. You know, I want to do hair, but I don't want all this. You know, so there's been times like that. But thankful to God and my support systems, you know, like we got through it, you know, and so that brings me up to COVID. Like that was the ultimate shutdown. Like not only it's not about me not having any stylists in the salon, we just can't even open, period, to make any money. You know, I can't even make money, you know, so that was definitely a trying time for me. It got real. When it first happened, because it's like we're going to shut down. Like I just know it. You know, we just how do we make it when we're not even bringing in any money, you know? So I had to tap into that hustler in me again, you know, and that's when I was like, this is a test of are you a real entrepreneur, Keara?
What you gonna do next?
What you gonna do? You know, how do you overcome? You know, I had to dig into the hustler in me. You know, I had to figure it out, make it work, because not only do I have to pay that rent, you know, they still want their money.
That's true.
I still got to pay for my own house and my own bills and stuff. How do you do that when you're not making any income? You know, so I had to get creative. But like we just was saying, like in those moments, like you level up.
Yes,
you know,
yes,
like I started doing virtual consultations. I started putting together haircare packages for my clients who do color. I'm mixing up color for them. I got your developer here. I got your color here. I got you a bowl, and I got you a brush, and I ship it to you. You know, if you need conditioning treatment, I got this conditioning treatment here. I'll put you a plastic shower cap in there, ship it to you. If you need to call me, do a 30-minute consultation. You can purchase that online. We can talk. I was I was walking clients through how to do twist outs. I was walking clients through how to take down their sew-ins, how to do a protective style, like how to relax their hair. Like I was walking them through all this type of stuff. That was how I was able to make some extra income. During the pandemic, and then the waist beads, like that's when that really took off because I was like, I gotta do something. I have to make some type of money. I can't just sit here. Now thankful to unemployment and stuff started coming through, but that was later on, right? Because they still had to get all that stuff squared away in the systems. There was so much janky stuff going on with that type of stuff. And trying to get with them trying to get that together. So I had to make it work. But on the other side, that's why it's important for us to like save and have money set aside for rainy days.
That is true. That is true.
And like, do you remember that story that made it big? The lady Shelley Luther, she had the hair salon out in somewhere.
Yes. Okay. She got arrested and then she started running for office. That's a whole nother story. But I know something about
white privilege. That is. But like, she was just talking about how she was about to lose her house, like, she was behind her mortgage, all these different things, and why she just had to work. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, this is I forgot how many chair salon it was. I think it was like a 30 chair salon.
Dang.
30 chairs, I believe it was 30. It was a lot. I was like, okay, because, like I told you earlier, how I calculated this booth rent times 4 times this, that's what equals this just for one stylist booth rental. So I'm starting to calculate her, like even if she is booth rental, she's still making a good money off of one stylist, and then you're doing that times 30, or if it is a commission-based salon, that's still a lot of money.
Yes,
times 30 chairs. So I'm like, okay. But then I hear that she had some business partners. Okay, well, even still, you still should be making a good cut from 30 chairs. Right?
Yeah.
So that just let me know, like, well, maybe you weren't managing your money right.
Yep.
Maybe you were already behind on your house. Yeah. So that's why I was just like, I'm just thankful that I've always been one to always put aside money for a rainy day.
That's good.
Just always. So that's the one thing that I really learned within that moment of just not being able to. Just your hands are tied.
Right.
Like, because normally, right, as a stylist, I can always work from home. I can go to somebody's house. But now with coronavirus, this is a whole pandemic that just happened. We don't know what's going on. Ain't nobody doing no house calls.
That's true.
So our hands were just all the way tied in that situation. And some people made it, some people didn't. And I'm just blessed that we were able to make it through that and just figuring out a way, making a way out of no way type of thing, And it was an experience, but we came through. And when we opened back up, clients was ready, been ready, still ready.
So good.
Yeah, have not missed a beat. So
good, because the fact during that time you still were in communication with them, like you were still guiding them. Like even though I can't be there physically, I can still be there for you.
Yes,
we're still going to make it a way for us.
Yeah,
I think that makes a difference versus people looking. And I think I talked about this on like Real Talk with Bree. I feel like certain times people miss the blessing because we're so focused on what's in front of us. Since COVID hit us so hard in our businesses, we're forgetting about the community. Versus, this hit my business, but I should still be there for my community. I should still show up and show out some way.
Yeah, they still have to know you here and you got their back. And that's another thing, like with the hair products, is because a lot of clients was buying the hair products because it was a part of their at-home treatment, and so I can just get on the call and tell them how to work with those products. I was even able to connect with a family member who has an online beauty supply.
Nice.
So if it wasn't something that I had in my collection that they may need, like relaxer or whatever, I could direct them to that website to go get their products. So it's like you said, community. Like it was, we was helping each other out some type of way, you know. So it was definitely an interesting time, but it was a lot of self-reflection,
of course,
you know, and it was. You know what? And I'm not, it's like, I hate to say this, and I say it lightly, but I feel like it was a blessing in disguise. Like, although it affected a lot of people health-wise, like, you know, we've lost a lot of people due to coronavirus, you know, businesses failed due to it, all that, but it was such a blessing in it for me and mine. I'll say that, you know, the stylists in the salon, they all have been blessed. You know, they were able to sustain their sales, their businesses, you know, through all that. So I just think that God just really kept his hands over us. And I'm just thankful that we were able to take it just one day at a time. And everybody was on one accord, which I appreciate about my team. If I have a vision, they're like, okay, yeah, that's what we do. You know, I agree. You know, we're gonna do this. I agree. Like they're right on it. So I appreciate that. So it's been cool. It's been cool.
That's so beautiful. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I be on YouTube. I listen to different podcasts. I just think there's a lot of resources. Some people make you pay for them, and some people are just willing because they're there for the community. So that being stated, what is one free advice that you would give somebody that's listening or watching right now, if that's due to the hair industry, entrepreneurship, maybe just keeping their spirits high when, you know, things are just not looking too good? What is one free advice that you can give them pertaining to your journey of what you've gone through?
Do your research. Do your research. Learn your skill. Engulf yourself in it. Eat, breathe it, sleep it, love it. What is the saying? You have to give something. It's something about like 10,000 hours in order to be like a master at something.
Okay.
You know, something like that. I'm pretty sure I'm quoting it wrong, but you have to put that time in. You know, I see a lot of times people want to do, and I'll just use this industry as an example. But I see a lot of people that want to be a hairstylist. I see a lot of people that want to be a hairstylist and a salon owner. I see people that want to have a product line. But then they're asking, you know, where you get the products from? You know, what brand do you use? You know, like you have to do your research. You have to, like, I'm always looking up something about hair. And like even when I'm online, like on Instagram, that's not just time being wasted. Like I really be on Instagram looking for like what can inspire me, what information can I gain, like who out there I need to connect with. Like it's not just me looking on there for entertainment. Right. You know, like I actually had to delete the shade rooms and the baller alerts. I had to unfollow all of that because that would have you engulfed and looking at comments all day long, laughing, highly entertained, distracted, you know. And it's like, what am I even on here for? Right. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing this, you know, like, but I'm constantly searching for things and looking for what's innovative, what are other stylists doing, you know, what's new out there, what's trendy, what do I like, what I don't like, you know, because that's where my clients go. When somebody comes into my chair and they showing me something, chances are it's something they got off of Instagram. True. You know? Is true. So I want to be knowledgeable and aware of the trends and styles that's going on out there. So I'm constantly just all about hair, all about the beauty industry, all about salons, all about marketing, all about advertising, just all about getting to the bag.
Come
you know,
on.
like, and it's so hard because sometimes I need to cut it off. But I realize I just enjoy it. So for other people, I definitely feel like you have to, first of all, have a passion for it. Because you're not going to do none of that if you don't have a passion for it.
Let's start there.
Start there, okay? And there's been times where I've had people come into the salon and need, want me to help them and all that, and just different things like that. But I just like, I love to help. Like out behind the chairs, especially like interns that come in, I love to show them this is how you flat iron, this is the type of flat irons you use, this is what you do, this is how you shampoo, like this is how you do this, right? But I always say my energy is gonna match your energy. Yeah. So I got this. I'm good. Right. You're the one that wants this. So there's no reason for me to go harder than you.
That's true.
So if I see you going hard, then I'll go hard with you. But you have to be the one to want it bad enough to tell me something about what you learned last night. What class did you take? There's so much free education out there it's ridiculous.
So much.
And that'd be my thing. Like, I could see if everything you have to pay for, but you can learn so much stuff for free. YouTube University will teach you how to make a car if you want to.
No, that's real.
Real. So whatever it is that you want to do, there's information out there for you. So I just say like this book right here, I got tons of these. Yep. That's cool. If you look through it, it might not even make any sense to you. But it's just me, whatever I was writing at that time. And so I just feel like people need to really just study. Yep. Study the industry that you are trying to get into. That's all.
I love that so much because it's the truth, and I cannot wait till we get to the motivational moment. But before, can I tell you, every time I get to my motivational moment, I promise you it goes with the conversation. Okay. So as soon as I read it, you're gonna be like, "You are not lying." And it's nothing but God. I can't even take that's nothing but God orchestrating all of that, right? Wow. Okay. So before we get there, anything upcoming for you, KMS Glam Studio, the collections, anything next?
Just stay tuned. There's always something coming next. It's always something coming next. I can't even tell you one major thing, but I just know stay tuned for May. What's that? Is May Mother's Day? Yes. Okay. I'm praying to God that this year we can have a Mother's Day event. Because last year we didn't get a chance to. Right. But Mother's Day is always like a big time for us. Like in the past, we've worked with local churches and do pamper nights for mothers. Just have them come in free of charge, and we pamper them. It just depends on who I can get to help. Okay. But sometimes it's just hair. Sometimes it's hair and makeup. Okay. Sometimes I might have somebody that can do nails. You know. So it's just different stuff like that. And then 2 years ago, before Corona, so 2019, me and my mom, we hosted a Mother's Day tea party / photo shoot. So we utilized the photo studio that I have in the salon. Okay. And we had hors d'oeuvres, and I had brought in a photographer. It had everybody come in, sign up for a time slot. And, whoever you want in your picture, if it's you and your mama and your granny, and y'all can get some pictures free of charge. So that you have a memory, because we don't take pictures these days that and actually have it printed out and stuff. So that was something that we did before, and it's a fun time for us. So I would say stay tuned for that. Okay. Other than that, just, hey, I'm always innovative. I'm always growing. Product line is growing. There's going to be more products. Stay tuned for those products. Some new services are going to be coming out. Stay tuned for those new services. And yeah, we're just constantly elevating and constantly evolving as a salon. I just want to be different. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. Yeah. I want to be different. Yeah. and I want to cater to women. I want to empower women. Whatever I do, I want to, just uplift the woman. Yeah, and we are a woman's oasis. That is like our thing, and it's a vibe when you come in and get your hair done. So not only do you have the vibe going, but you getting like a spa-like service, and you getting some girl talk, and you feeling good about yourself when you walk out the door to go be great, because as mothers and working women and all that, like we're busy doing different things, but you need to take time for yourself in order for you to be great at those things. So that's what drives me, as well as us, the salon as a whole. So everything that I do, everything that's to coming up, is all based upon that right there. Yeah,
I love it.
So just stay tuned to more empowerment for women. Yeah.
And how can they stay in tune? Handlers, website, give it to them.
Okay, so our website is www.kmsglamstudio.com. You can sign up for the Glam Report on there, which is our mailing list, and so that's where I send out different announcements, updates, sales, anything like that. They can get all the information through the Glam Report. We offer a membership program as well.
Nice.
So you can go on if you go on the website, you can view our membership options. We have Glam Queen and Glam Babe. And so you can pick which one works for you in your lifestyle, as well as some events coming up. I'm ready to start back, open up the salon to events now. I think we're ready for that.
Okay, count me in.
Yeah, you come.
I will.
Would you come to a waist bead party?
I would.
Like to make spin and sip waist bead party?
I actually, yes.
You would?
You can count me in.
Okay.
Keep me updated.
Okay, cool.
And okay. We go. I'm just thinking about so many ideas as you're talking. Okay. So we are wrapping up.
Okay.
And we are here for the motivational moments. That's like a news reporter. Okay, so motivational moment, this is how I end all the conversations. It's either a scripture, a quote, anything I see that come across either on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. I'm like, oh, I love that. I just write it down.
Okay.
So, sorry, whoever created this. I didn't see signature or a name. So if this is you, shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out to you and yourself.
Okay. But today, get rooted in your passions and set intentions to grow. So when I first read that, I'm going to read it again. Get rooted in your passions and set intentions to grow. When I first read that, for me, I thought about you have to have a foundation before you get started with anything in life. If you don't have that foundation, wherever you start, it's going to easily break because you don't have anything that actually set the stage for it. Okay. So when it comes to the roots of it, if you chop down the tree and you dig up everything, it won't grow back, right? And so you can take everything away from me, but that why will always remain the same. That hustle mentality, my heart, my passion, all of that is the root of it. So if I don't focus on that and get that together first, it's going to be so easy to tear me down later on to where the burnout comes in and the I quit and the, this is happening again and I can't believe this is going on, this, and that, because you really didn't set the stage of you really figuring out certain things on how to move forward. And then with that lesson, how did you grow from it? That journey that comes with it, that progress that goes with it. I think a lot of people, that's why I was like, you know what, let's talk about the stages on how you got to where you are today versus, okay, how did you get to where you are today? Let's start with the different levels. So when I read that, it just reminded me that the journey is so important from you to start from level 1. Actually, I would say level 0. Yeah. It's okay for you to start over with a fresh start so you can get that mindset to when things do go wrong, you can go back and be like, okay, this is why I started it in the first place. So what are your thoughts on that?
I agree with everything that you just said. And just like you said, it's all about that why. It always comes back to that. And a lot of times we get so, just like you said, we get you really get discombobulated,
That's
you
true.
know? And you have to, all right, bring it back in.
Yeah.
Why? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? And then that'll help you to push forward and get through that, whatever that is. But you have to have that why and set your intentions to grow. Rooted in your passion. We just talked about that, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It goes back to everything you just talked about.
You just have to have passion.
You do.
If you don't have passion in it, don't do it. Find something else.
Don't even get started with it.
Don't even get started with it. No, for real. Because like hair was a hobby for me. And I'm just thankful that I was able to make it into making money off of a hobby.
Right.
So if your hobby is, I don't know, whatever, I can't think of something, anything. Cooking. If you really do like to cook. Right. But you're over here doing makeup.
Yeah.
You know, you might be good at that, but are you really going to be, everything's going to bother you about that. Right? So you're going to still be wanting to go home and cook, and that's your happy place. Right. If that's your happy place, you can make money off of that.
You sure can.
But sometimes people don't realize that there's so many different ways to make money in an industry.
That's true.
You know, you be like, because I think sometimes we think too small and we think too closed-minded. And then especially like in the society that we live in now, we have so many options.
And resources.
Yeah. Like so much, right? And so you have to tap into those things. But like, you might like to cook, but you might not want to have a restaurant. You can have a food truck.
That's true.
You have a catering business. You can do meal prepping.
Sure can.
You don't have to see nobody. You can sell recipes online.
Sure can. Cookbook.
You know, so it's like you just have to find what works for you.
That's true.
You know, so
you just gave. By the way, we can't miss that. Excuse me. If you are a cook, a chef, whatever, when it comes to that type of industry, she legit just gave y'all about a good 5 businesses to get started.
Just like that. And that's another thing too. So I am going to say this because I noticed that it helps a lot of people. But like business coaching.
Yes.
If you need help with business coaching, you don't know where to start with your business, you can also hit me up for things like that because I will help you with your business. If you're just stuck, don't know how to do something, don't know where to do it, just don't even know what you're doing, like I can help you with that. So yeah, we have to set those intentions and we have to know that why. Because those are the things I'm going to ask you first and foremost.
Yeah, don't come to Keara and just be like, okay, I'm going to start a business. There's going to be some follow-up questions. So please get a blueprint, get you a journal. I have 10 million journals.
Okay.
You know what? I may just do a giveaway one day and just be like, hey. We're gonna do some champagne. We're gonna do a little wine glass, and we're gonna get you a journal so we can do self-reflection. Okay?
Yes.
Because I think people don't think about, like, I love when you say you have to research. People need to start writing stuff down.
Yes.
Yeah, the phones are
good.
The phones are good, but I feel like writing down stuff, you're gonna receive it more.
Yes, it's so like Brianna. Like I know you can, vouch for that too. But have you ever like went and looked in one of your old journals and saw something that has been manifested from that?
Yes.
Like it's such an amazing
podcast,
feeling.
actually.
Yeah, see? Like it's you have to write things down. Like it's cool to type things out on our phone in our notes. Like I have a phone full of notes. But like sometimes, most of the time, it's me getting a piece of paper and because for me, it helps me to get it out of my head. And like now it's not bogging me down. Now I can make bullet points. Okay, this is what I want to do. Now this is step to that. There might be a sub bullet for that. Might be another sub bullet. But you got to break things down on paper, or else it just is collectively just in your head.
I feel like on the phones too, it kind of slows you down because you're like, oh, I did that incorrectly. I need to go back and change this and this and that. Versus you writing, you can just scratch it and keep going.
Keep going. Because I know sometimes, like my writing, like you have great handwriting.
You think so, girl? I'm very thankful for that.
But my handwriting changes as I write.
Oh, okay.
Cause I just it's like the pen just takes over, and it's like I can't hardly even understand what I just wrote sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Do you do that when you pray, journal?
Sometimes it just depends, but I'm more so pray here, unless I'm like doing like a devotion or something.
Okay.
Then I will get down with like some paper and write down my thoughts or what I'm reading or to comprehend. Because even when I'm reading a book, like I'll highlight stuff, but even with a book, it's good. I like to write down those key points, So I have like a whole book of my notes from a book. Type of thing.
That makes sense.
Because
that's why you retain it.
Yeah, exactly. Retain it better like that.
I am happy.
So y'all write it down. Like
it's real. I'm actually, yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a giveaway of journals, maybe pens, highlighters. I love wine, so I gotta put what I like into it as well.
But I'm a one-up you one.
Okay.
What if you give away the journal and the wine, but what if we got together at the salon and did like a journal and set your intentions kind of thing, event?
I want to do it. That's why I was like, excuse me. I was like, after this, I got so many ideas that's going through my head that we can get together. But I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to get into events again too. Because I had one right before the whole shutdown, and it was a spa party, and it was like a mission, women empowerment. I just wanted women to come out, have a good time. We had some wine, some little hors d'oeuvres, and we just had a good time. Like people was just fellowshipping, and I just like to step back and just see the community come together, because that's what I'm about, and that's what my business is about, community. So I want to get back into that.
I think you should, and I'll help you.
Yes,
I have no problem opening up the salon for whatever. I like to see life in the salon, and if it's for the betterment of people and women, I'm for all of that.
Well, y'all heard it first. We ain't gonna make this happen. Well, I think this is the end of the conversation. Okay. Did you have any last tidbits? You gave out a lot. I'm even kind of scared to ask that question because you gave out so much information. I'm very thankful.
No, you can ask anything. Any tidbits?
Any thoughts? Anything you like you left out today?
I hope I covered it all. I hope if anybody has any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me. Instagram is all social media is KMS Glam Studio. That's KMS GLAM STUDIO.
Just lay it down.
Yep. KMS
trying to remix
it. No remix. But Instagram, Facebook, that's really the only two that I'm on like that. I have a YouTube page, but don't contact me on there. Not yet. I'm trying to get better with YouTube. But yeah, and you can always go to the website to get all the information from there.
I love it.
Yeah. Any services, products, photo shoots, business tips, events, holla at your girl.
Come on, she said.
I want to connect with women. I want to connect with other women, just like what we're doing here. I appreciate you reaching out to me, and I will share this little tidbit. Actually, I wasn't going to, but I said I will just share this tidbit. Kind of crazy. I thought about when you were reading this right here, because at the beginning of the year, I had my first. At the end of the year, I had my first spiritual reading. And I absolutely loved it. I love that journey. And when you read this, it made me think about the gist of our conversation that I had with my spiritual reader. And she was just like, 2021, you need to be focused on your business and nothing else. Just focus on that and, set your intentions, and because you're going to grow, but you just, I need to be more, continue with what I'm doing, but just basically go a little harder, basically, And then I was told that, like, how, like, you're waiting on that blessing to come? She was like, she's like, it's coming. She said, your blessing is like a plane waiting to land. Like it's just hovering over, just waiting on that moment to land. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's up to me to really, you know, get that going. But like while talking to the my spiritual reader, she also told me about like how it is important to get into the community. You know, be a part of the community. And everything that she was telling me was things that I had already been thinking about. And so that was just making it like a reassurance for me, like I need to do that, right? And so that made me create a vision board. And on that vision board, I have it in categories. I want to be very intentional about my vision board this year. So I did it like personal, business, and then like my philanthropy. I guess I'll say that.
Okay.
So on that side, I have like a girl with a microphone. I have like, I forgot what words are on it, but it's all about teaching women and bettering women and girl power and speaking to women. I said that I wanted to start, that's how I was going to get into the community more, by trying to be more, putting my voice out there more. Because I've always been like a quiet person. Like I'm really like, I'm very introverted. I'm very shy. Like I'm not the one that's going to be in the room doing all the talking. You know, I observe. And so I said I wanted to use my voice for the betterment of the young women and girls. So now it's funny because, you know, you contact me about doing a podcast to start talking to women. So I just think that's kind of
come in full circle. Yes.
I think it's kind of interesting. So I thank you for that. Thank you for that moment, this moment.
I want to thank Mo as well.
Shout out to Mo. We modeled together for Yoni's themes.
We did. That was us too. I'm just like, so I just definitely want to thank Mo for that, because I'm all about building relationships. You know, that's my whole thing on What's Good podcast. We strive to build relationships with people through storytelling. And so when I meet people, I want to walk away with something. And if I don't walk away with something, then I mean, you probably won't ever hear from me again. And so if I feel the presence, like God saying, hey, Bree, you may want to keep that connection, that's when I start reaching out to people. Every time before I get started with What's Good podcast every season, I write down people that I've met. I do my research again. I just make sure with intentions going into season 4, there's a reason why you have this person on the show. And so when I met you, I was like, I just love her. And then Mo was just bragging about you too. So I was like, you know what? If a third party can brag about you like that and you're not even there, because let's just being honest, it can go 2 different ways if you're not being in the presence, right? It could be something bad or it could be something good. And the way that she just raved over you, I was like, let's follow each other, you know? Let me keep up with her. And she does my freaking cousin's hair. So I was just like, you know what? Everything has to go intentionally with how I move.
It does. It really does. And it's very, it's so funny how like we grow spiritually, because like this year, like I don't know if I'm so aware of certain things, you know, and I see how God is working, and I see how like those things that you manifest, those things that you pray about, like start to come full circle. And if you just allow room for God to work, and move, you know, like you know, we get kind of wrapped up in us, you know, but you gotta let God work. You gotta let God direct your path. And so I just been really big on that. I've been really big on just sitting back and trying to listen for God or listen for those things. And they come. And that's how I get like some of my biggest ideas, when I'm just quiet by myself. Like God just be giving me things. I'll be like, where is my paper at? Like, let me get that idea before I forget it, because that is amazing. You know, like, just shout out to God.
That's my source. I'm very thankful.
Bringing the sisters so far
Okay, because we're here.
We ain't going nowhere. We're leveling up and we're gonna keep going.
Yes.
All that. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you on different levels too.
Yes, it's gonna happen. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming through today.
Thank you.
I'm very thankful. And we want to say thank you, ladies and gents, for tuning in today. If you are listening to this morning, noon, evening, or night, thank you for tuning in to What's Good podcast, and we will see y'all next time.